Welcome back to the King Films College Football Locks and Predictions show, and let's get right into it with a recap of last week. We had a horrible week going 2-5, but one bright side was our over-under picks as Indiana, the under hit as we had in the preseason. Our two other locks that could become true and make us undefeated on those are the Stanford over and the Washington State under, so keep an eye on those. Starting off, we had Syracuse covering against Virginia Tech. They were actually able to win outright. Then we had Coastal Carolina losing against App State in tough road environment in that Wednesday game. Coastal Carolina drops out of our rankings for the first time. If you're looking for the King Films College Football Rankings video, please click in the top right corner right now. Moving on, we had Oklahoma State absolutely selling this game late against Iowa State. They covered if you had the real spread, but we were greedy. We took the money line, and that's where we've been getting cooked all year. We've lost 5 units that would have covered the spread because we've been greedy on money lines. So we'll regress to the mean at some point, but we've got to be hitting these. And then Purdue loses by a ton to Wisconsin. Not much loss there. USC also gets blown up on the road at Notre Dame. Georgia Tech sells this game against Virginia. They had a 14-0 lead, and then everything just crumbled on them. They made a comeback late, but just couldn't get the late Hail Mary to force this game into overtime. Finally, a bright spot, Wake Forest in the shootout with Army was able to cover this spread. So we move to down 0.9 units on the year, and let's look into the locks at next week where we will try to make some of that ground up. First of all, in the game of the week, Michigan at Michigan State. Big rivalry game, tough atmosphere. We're going to take Michigan minus 3.5. Michigan State has been a fraudulent team all year. At first, it looked like they were great, but then we realized, the opponents they were getting credit for blowing out are just not that good. They've played close to numerous opponents. Rutgers and Nebraska are noteworthy. Moving on to the second game, we've got Washington State in a tough road environment at Arizona State. Washington State, don't let them fool you. They've been playing a lot better as of late. As I mentioned, we do have their under. I don't think they're going to win this game, so I think it's a safe bet that they're going to lose. But 15.5 is a lot of points for an Arizona State team that's coming off a loss to a Utah team that has been up and down all season. Next up, we've got Virginia and BYU, and we're going to take BYU minus 3.5. Again, we're going to fade Virginia, even though they were able to get it done last week. I think BYU is a lot better of a team than Georgia Tech. Obviously, this one's at BYU, a long flight for Virginia, and let's move on from there to Fresno State against San Diego State. We're going to take the Aztecs money line. I think they're just a bit better than this Fresno State squad. Obviously, they're playing at the neutral site this year as their stadium's getting rebuilt, but I think they should be able to do it. Both of these teams have been up and down all year, but I think San Diego State is a solid pick here. Then we've got Iowa plus 140 money line at Wisconsin. I just don't buy into this Wisconsin hype that Vegas is giving them. Obviously, Iowa is a very overrated team. I will concede that, as I've ranked them even lower than the AP poll in my rankings. But Wisconsin is just not good. Obviously, Purdue had a letdown game against them. I'm convinced Iowa will come in here with a vengeance after their loss and smack down Wisconsin here. Finally, we've got Notre Dame at home against a UNC team coming off the bye. Notre Dame minus 3.5 looks like a mighty good play to me against a weak ACC opponent. Obviously, their game against Virginia Tech was not convincing, but that one was on the road. Notre Dame seems to respond to the fans at home. Obviously, their only loss to Cincinnati was there, but they seem to have gotten better since then, and I like them to win this game by more than 4 points. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and comment your predictions below.